Hello there, I'm Troy Jacob, and I'm starting this new series called Let's Be Honest. And this is for social commentary and politics and stuff happening in the world and all that kind of stuff. So I really want to affect change. I really want to make a difference in this world, and I want to help people. And I never knew how I was going to do that right now. I'm working towards that, but I thought maybe this might help guide me in that direction, I guess I would say. So let's just start with some things. Let's be honest about what's happening in the world right now. So there's a lot of war, there's a lot of famine, there is a lot of craziness. Western society seems to be getting more and more out of control and unstable. We have a tendency to be very money hungry and greedy in this society, and it's not exactly the society I want to be a part of necessarily. I find that ever since the lockdowns, as time goes on, I find myself more and more disconnected with Western society over here, because it is very, very different now. People are obsessed with everything, getting everything they want when they want it. Most people cannot pay attention to anything unless it's on their phones. It's almost impossible to have a conversation with somebody face to face nowadays. It's not like it was when I was younger, and you would give them your undivided attention. People pick up their phones. They can't put down their phones. They can't ignore their phones, and it just signals to the person you're not really interested in the person you're actually spending time with. Dating sites aren't no different. They're just turning into more and more of a nightmare. Sketchy, strange, weird, sick, sadistic people. I've had some really horrible experiences. And not to mention mental health crisis. That's totally out of control. I'm personally going through all the channels to better my mental health, because I've had a lot of issues since the lockdowns. I am battling addiction and mental health problems. I have ailments. I have mental disabilities that play a part in my mental well-being, and I'm trying my best to just move forward. Unfortunately, that is very difficult to do. Right now, basically, the government is throwing away funding, throwing away everything that really helps people in my position get back on their feet, and basically telling us to go fuck ourselves. So, pardon my French, but it's exactly what they're telling us in the nicest way the government can. Now, I want to be a voice for people struggling with mental health and addiction, and I want to be an example of there is freedom from addiction. Now, I have come from, well, the worst places you can imagine. If you see the people on the street and acting super sketchy and homeless and all that, that's where I was at one point. I had a mental break right at the beginning of the lockdowns, before we were locked down. So we segued within weeks of my breakdown to the actual lockdowns. So that was basically no help. Whole world shut down. Had to self-medicate. Got huge into drugs. Yada, yada, yada. That old story. Now, I've worked my ass off to get here, but I remember feeling hopeless, that it was never going to happen. I fell through the cracks trying to get help several times. Granted, COVID was not helpful for any of that crap. But I kept fighting, and I kept fighting, and I kept fighting, and I kept fighting, because, the sad truth is only 3% of us hardcore drug users really make it, and that's a really sad number. And I decided a long time ago that I had to be in that 3%. That I wasn't going to accept that I wasn't going to be in that 3% after just riding the pain for quite some time. Now, that just catches you up to where I am. Now, I go to NA, go to recovery support. I went to Westover for rehabilitation, and I go to meetings all the time, and I go to church, and I am in a choir, and I got all these positive things in my life that I have brought in one thing at a time, and they have all made a difference in my life being very well and great today. And I have a great support system of people that love me, because the opposite of addiction is connection. So when you're isolated, alone in your pain, and alone in the grief, and alone in the darkness, it's easy to stay there. It's easy to think that you have no way out, but there is a light. There is a light. And I never thought that I would ever be here. I never thought that I was ever going to live through that, let alone be here today. And now all I want to do is help people in that position, because there's not enough help. There's flat out is not enough help. You think there's a lot of people who aren't going through it, think there's all this help, that there's unlimited resources, unlimited this, unlimited that. The truth is there's really not. I went through when there was more than there is now, and there's barely anything now. And they made $2.6 million cuts to, they just made that cut to Canadian Mental Health Association, which really helps people get back on their feet. And now they have to fire 30 people, and then it's going to make the wait times even longer, and not like they're not freaking long enough as it is. But it's really sad that the government created a major mental health crisis for all of us, and now is making all these cuts so people can't get well. Now, I know a lot of people that were completely normal, functional people before the lockdown, and now they are head cases, mentally just all over the place, abusive relationships, addicted to hardcore drugs, alcoholics, this, that, the other thing. Their lives are destroyed, and the government won't even clean up their mess, and that's the really sad part. I think it's disgusting that we live in a world where athletes and people who play sports make millions of dollars, millions upon millions of dollars, and we can't put anything into like mental health and people getting back on their feet and to live normal lives. That is such a stupid thing that I can't even put into words how messed up that is, that we value sports games more than, like, don't get me wrong, I like to enjoy a sport game like hockey or something like that, just like everybody else, but like the fact that they make as much money as they do, and like teachers make basically nothing, and people who affect our society, people who raise the next generation, people who leave an imprint on this world get crap all. It's a really messed up system, and it's really not balanced out the way it should be. We put emphasis into celebrity. We become obsessed with celebrities and what they're doing, what they're wearing, and why. Why do we care what these people do? They're just people like us. But we have to be obsessed with what people are playing, what people are wearing, what people are saying, and it's like we're obsessed with the wrong things when we could have enlightenment and contentment, serenity, inner peace, life's true riches. That is something to strive for. That is something that we all deserve. That is something we are capable of having, but we're all chasing the wrong things. Now, people might say, well, I'm happy with all the money I make. I'm happy with all the things I have. Yeah, that fits. See, the people want the feeling they get when they have those things, but it's not the actual the feeling that you have long term. Like initially going out and buying a Hummer may give you a rush, and it's so exciting to have that, but you want that feeling you get from getting that object. It's not about the object itself. Now, I thought that money and security would be security and keep me afloat, and if anything happened, I would be able to take care of myself, and and then bad series of events, I lost everything, and I became homeless within a matter of a month, and showed me that there's no such thing as real security, and when it comes to money, and I believe that a lot of people in the lockdown learned that as well. It changed everything for all of us, and not only that, a lot of us are having a hard time just functioning again. 10 cities are popping up everywhere. people on the street are not just drug addicts. They're regular people, regular families that have no addiction problems or no mental health problems, but they can't afford, their rent went up and they can't afford it. They got kicked out because the company bought their place and they can't afford to move to another place because the rent's phenomenally high. I can't even afford my rent right now. I know most people can't. I can't even move out because the rent is so high outside of this place. I can't afford a new place, so I'm stuck in a place I can't afford, but it's cheaper than what's out there now, and it doesn't make any sense. I don't see how our economy can last like this. We have a housing crisis that most people cannot afford their rent. We're going to have a food crisis because most people are barely affording food, and food banks are on the verge of collapsing. That is terrifying because I use the food banks every month because I have no choice. And if the food banks collapse, what the fuck are people going to do? People will be starving in the streets. People will be dying of malnutrition. This is going to turn into a third world country, and nobody seems to really grasp how close we are to that right now. It's at our doorsteps knocking on our door, and everyone wants to pretend like it's not happening. Now that's really, really sad because I care about people. I care about everybody, and I want our society to stay strong and go on and help each other, but it just seems that lately, because of it just seems like everyone's against everybody else. It seems people are picking sides. That racism seems to be getting worse. I don't know. It just seems like the topic of race seems to be being brought up constantly, and I'm just like, it makes me uncomfortable. As a mixed race person myself, I'm just like, what the hell does it matter? But it seems like people are being turned against other people, and it's getting really ugly out there. And you don't know where this is going to lead, but it's not. By the looks of it, nothing's leading anywhere good or wholesome. It's everything's leading in the worst possible direction. And now that we have Trump, possibly, I don't know, running for office. I don't even know how he's allowed to. I don't even know why he's allowed to. I cannot believe that U.S. citizens are... I have nothing nice to say, so I shouldn't say anything at all. But he's the worst thing that ever happened to... one of the worst things that ever happened to us as a whole in North America. And if he gets in office again, he will be the death of all of us. He has caused race wars and riots and all his anti-gay, anti-everything. He's just a hateful person filled with hate. All he cares about is money and rich white people. And take it or leave it. I don't know. That's what you're into and that's what you want to support. Good for you. But I don't know. I think we need somebody that has no bias opinion on that running our country, or running the free country, the States. That's not our country, but I do feel like, you can't be that type of person and be a president. You have to care about all the people. You can't just care about some of the people. We're all people in North America. We all deserve the same rights as everybody else. This is supposed to be land of the free, supposed to be, and my ancestors were almost completely wiped out for a free country here in North America. I'm half Aboriginal, and I never got to learn about my native heritage, even though I grew up on the reservation, but that was all taken away from me for a free country. Now, I'll let you know that since the lockdowns, they censor everything we put on social media. And the best part is that Facebook will not let you post any news-related articles or anything. Because guess what? We were affecting change. We were making differences. When news was getting posted on social media, people got mad about stuff. Things got changed. People noticed. Now they took that off. So we can't affect change. They're just trying to keep everyone quiet and everyone docile so they can do whatever they want, and we're just going to sit back and take it. That's the truth of it all, because they think everybody's just sheep. And if the lockdown didn't teach us a good majority of the population is sheep, then I can't believe some of you people didn't notice that. And it's been hard for everybody to get back to a resemblance of a normal life after all of the crap that's happened. And but we deserve a lot more than what we're getting. We deserve to have that free speech. We deserve to go on a certain amount of rant if we want to, because that's what our rights are in this country. Censoring us and telling us we can't, and trying to erase the past and do all this kind of stuff, it's not helping anything. If anything, it's making things worse. This country was built on not so great things. And, genocide of an entire people, just about. So, can't ignore that. The past is the past, you can't change it. But it just seems like now they're just trying overly hard to make up for it, but just making a whole bunch of new bad decisions and problems and pissing off different people in different ways. So I just can't believe it's still like this in 2024, man. It should be very different. I was expecting the Jetsons by now, but this is barely the Jeffersons. That's pretty damn close, actually, if you ask me. But just still so much hate and racism and people mad about gender and sexuality, and who the hell cares? Land of the free, mind your business and live your life. Like, what does it matter to everybody? I don't get it. I don't know why everyone's going to be in everyone else's business. And I'm sorry, I'm a Christian boy, but like, if you're a true Christian, you do not push that crap on other people. You are supposed to love thy neighbor as God loves you, and that's going and pushing your beliefs on other people and using hate slurs on other people. That's not true Christianity. I don't know what that is, but I guess I do know what that is. That's just hate. That's just hate. You can't. And those people are always the type of people that don't ever push everything the Bible says. No, they don't stand by everything they read. They pick and choose. They pick and choose what they're going to stand up for, what they're going to fight for, what they're going to protest. But they're hypocrites, because there's a lot of stuff that they do themselves that goes against what it reads in the Bible if you pay attention to all of the Bible. But they think they're all high and mighty. And then Jesus say, let him who has not sinned throw the first stone. So those people need a reality check, seriously. So I would love to engage with anybody watching this. So feel free to comment or ask some questions, and maybe in the next episode I can answer them or get into a little bit of debate. Hopefully get enough followers that I can start going live and then have live debates. That would be pretty cool. I'm not the most educated person. I'm not all high and mighty kind of person. I'm not all about my religion. I'm just a regular person who lives in this country and wants to know why everything is the way it is. Why we can't have better than what we have, and why we just can't all get along and respect each other, love each other. What's wrong with that? That's what every fundamental part of religion is all about, isn't it? It's like love. It's supposed to be about love, and I'm about love, and I think we're losing our love as a society, and everything's getting tainted. Everything's becoming a lot of hate and negativity, and it's scaring me, because I'm really scared of what direction we're going. But maybe this will help some people open up and get some things off their chest. Maybe, I don't know, bring us all a little closer together. I'm just trying to make a difference anyway. I know how, and I don't know how, but I'm hoping this might do something. So anyways, I think 20 minutes is good enough for an episode to start. So yeah, let me know what you think. Hope you all have a great day. God bless.